Sandy Golston here from SG3 Communications, and I wanted to talk a little bit today about what some people might consider clickbait headlines that they see on their various social media channels, be that Facebook or perhaps Twitter, maybe Instagram as well. So part of what news organizations, for example, do is they will give you a headline that teases you about what more exists in the story, because the idea is they want you to read the full story. But the problem is, where we kind of conflict, is that the news organization wants you to click through to read the full story, but people are lazy and they don't want to put that much energy into it. So what happens is the news organization, for example, or a business of some other kind, they put a headline and maybe one sentence as a description, but it doesn't give you the full story. It just teases something that is going to be in the story that is maybe a little bit more complex than what can be encompassed in a headline or the first sentence of the story. And so what happens is, because people are lazy and they don't want to click through, what they end up doing is they rely strictly on the headline or whatever copy text that you put in the description of the post. And so if that doesn't tell people everything, a lot of times what you'll see in the comment section, like for example on Facebook, is, well, why did they do this? Or why did they do that? Or why aren't they doing this? Or what is going on? Because they don't want to click through and actually read the story. And so then you get people who will say, oh, well, you were misleading, you were clickbaiting us, this is why we don't trust the media, this is why we don't trust certain sources, blah, 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 blah. But the truth is, we have to not be so lazy. We have to be willing to help ourselves become more knowledgeable. And this is a challenge, because if you are in communication businesses, such as the media or public relations or marketing, you want people oftentimes to convert to go to more information somewhere down the line. So you want to get them in that funnel and then just keep them going all the way through until they get to where you really want, to the point that you might be able to convert them to a sale or to read the full article, whatever it is that your conversion would be. But this tug of war can sometimes cause frustration on both sides, because on the one end, you want people to click through and see all of the information that you have so they get the full context. On the other hand, some people don't want the full context. They want just one sentence, because that's all their attention span can probably handle. So you have to think about this in your strategy. Are you going to take the approach, for example, that you want to tease people to get them to go to your website to get the full picture? Now, again, a lot of people do this, and some people, when you're surfing through your Facebook news feed or your Twitter feed or your Instagram feed, you don't want clickbait. You want to just say, don't tell me about all the work, just show me the end result. And that's what a lot of people are interested in. They don't want to know about all the work that you put into it. They don't want to know the full context. They want to get right to the point. So think about that when you're in your strategy. What is it that you really want? Do you really want people to click through? Now, there may be situations where you don't necessarily need people to click through. You just want to get some information out there really quick and really fast and to break news, for example. But there are other times when you really want people to get the full context. What you have to do is understand your audience as best you can. What are they really going to want? What are they going to consume? And make sure that you tailor your social media content so that it doesn't come across as misleading. Because those are things that feed negative stereotypes that the people really love to cling to. Because if we, in our society, if there's few other things that we love, one of them that we do love is we love stereotypes. If we see one person from a certain organization or a certain business type or certain profession, we see them do something that we don't like and we attach that to them, and it's like a scarlet letter that they just cannot get rid of. They can never get rid of. And so it's important to make sure that you are able to maybe tease but not be misleading, because you have to remember that people are lazy and people rush to judgment and jump to conclusions, and they look for things that fit their worldview. So if they have a bias against a certain group, organization, or profession, they carry that through, and any little thing that triggers that will cause it to basically explode. So make sure that you are as straightforward as you can be. Tease a little bit, try to get people to convert, to go to your website and get more information, but make sure that you do it in a way that's not misleading or is not going to frustrate your audience, because ultimately it's up to us as communicators to connect with our audience in meaningful ways. There's some people that you can never connect to, some people you can never make happy, but you have to make every effort possible to try to connect with them in a way that builds an authentic, positive relationship that you can build on. So think about clear communications. Obviously, you want to get people to your website, you want to get people to click through to more information, but make sure you do it in a responsible way, understanding that your audience is sometimes lazy, they're sometimes fickle, and they have very short attention spans in many cases. So you have to take that into consideration with your communication strategy.